Hello everyone. So we will be starting with geography today. I will be dealing with the geography topic for civil service examination, that is for both civil service mains and the civil service preliminary exam. To start initially, first before starting for any examination, one of the basic requirement is knowing the syllabus very properly. So how is the civil service examination defined? How is the syllabus of geography defined in the civil service examination? We'll first understand the syllabus, because once a person is thorough with the syllabus, then obviously the subject becomes an extremely easy subject. At least we know the dimensions where we have to focus, or the boundaries where we have to study, and while studying or where we have to focus while studying the subject. If you look at the syllabus of geography, the syllabus of geography can be divided, one for the preliminary examination and other for the main examination. The syllabus for the preliminary examination, it is referred as, if we study the syllabus for the preliminary examination, it says of India and world geography. This is the only thing which has been mentioned in the preliminary examination syllabus. It talks of India and the world geography. What kind of a geography of India and world? It talks of physical geography. It talks of social geography. And it talks of economic geography. So one thing we can decipher is, geography can be divided into three branches, that is the physical geography, the social geography and the economic geography. But what comes in these three parts, that is of the India physical, India social, Indian economic geography, or what comes in the world physical, social or economic geography, it has to be studied in detail after analyzing the main syllabus properly. It is the mains examination syllabus which talks of proper demarcation of a syllabus, proper division of a syllabus, and it also tells what are the areas of focus. And that is why the nature of the lecture will be combined lecture for preliminary and the mains examination, so that we will have an entire overview of the entire subject. The conceptual part which we are studying in detail in the main examination will be required for both main examination and for preliminary examination. In the preliminary examination, there will be some points in the lecture which I will focus, that these are the factual areas which are to be remembered specifically for the preliminary examination. So the idea behind the combined lecture is, covering both the syllabus of preliminary and the main examination, while focusing on some areas which are important for the respective examinations. Now, analyzing the main syllabus of geography. The main syllabus of geography is broad. It is covered in GS paper 2, which is actually GS, which has paper of history, social issues and geography mentioned. It is mentioned as GS paper 2. So what are the important features? So for a mains examination, the syllabus is properly divided into, first topic is the salient features of world's physical geography. It talks of the salient features of world's physical geography. See, one important keyword here is the physical geography. So what do you mean by the physical geography? We know there are numerous mountains, there are numerous landscapes, there are numerous rivers. Our earth is surrounded by the water, that is our continents are surrounded by water. We have an atmospheric covering over it. This part forms a physical geography part. So the salient features of the world's physical geography, one of the brief idea of this topic we will be studying here the landscapes on the earth. We will be studying here the rivers which flow on these landscapes. We will be studying the climate which surrounds the earth. We will be studying oceanography and the oceans and the respective elements, that is the soil or other features on the physical geography. The second topic talks of distribution of key natural resources. Of key natural resources. in the world or across the world. And here it is mentioned in the bracket including India and South Asia. So the second important topic here is, again the keyword here is distribution of important natural resources in the world. So you don't have to focus just on the distribution of natural resources in India and the neighboring countries. We have to focus here in the distribution of important natural resources in the world. So what are some of the examples of natural resource? Resource required for energy, coal. Coal is one of the important natural resource. Iron and steel industry, iron is one of the important natural resource. Water is one of the important natural resource. So distribution of these natural resources across the world. Then the third is features responsible for location of key industries or for the location of industries across the world. So the third feature is what are the important features these are responsible for location of industries across the world. And what kind of industries? Manufacturing industry, iron and steel manufacturing industry, transportation industry, service sector industry. So all these three important industries are, these are just an example of, that is, we have to study here both all primary industry, secondary industry and tertiary industry across the world. So we are studying here the distribution of key industries across the world, or the distribution for why these industries are located. Then one topic which is actually a part of this topic itself, that is the first topic itself, is the fourth topic, that is the important geophysical phenomena. That is, what are the important geophysical phenomena? Some are specified in the syllabus, some are not specified. The specified in the syllabus are earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, cyclones, etc. So these are the important key phenomena of the world's, or important geophysical phenomena of the world. Now when we will study the salient features of the world's physical geography, while studying the mountain building, we will be studying the earthquakes. While studying the oceanography, we will be studying tsunamis. While studying the climatology, we will be studying cyclones. So this is just a part of a physical geography. So we can say that this covers a physical geography. And the last topic in the geography syllabus is geographical features. And their location and changes in these critical geographical features. To be specific, they have given in the bracket, that is both water bodies as well as ice caps. And flora and fauna. So this is what is the important syllabus of geography. Now when we look at The fifth topic, it is the geographical features, which will be covered in the physical geography and their location. Now, for example, when we say that what geographical feature, to simplify, location of Himalayas. Why is the Himalaya located along such and such region? Why it is an east-west mountain? Why it is not a north-south mountain like Rockies of America or like Andes of some other South America? Why there are frequent earthquakes in the Himalayan region? The recent example is a Nepal earthquake. Why the earthquake is substantially, or we can say practically, absent in the peninsular part of India, that is the lower part of India. Why are some specific plateaus located in the peninsular part? How different is the peninsular part of India from the middle part of India, that is the Indo-Gangetic plain, and again different from the Himalayan part, that is only on the Indian basis level, or how India as Indian physical geography is different from the world's physical geography. Why the glaciers are located at their specific locations? What is the climate of the equatorial region? What is the climate of the polar region? What is the climate of the temperate region? So important geographical features, their location. And lastly, the changes in these geographical features. Some of the changes, for example, recently there has been evidence that the height of Mount Everest has been increasing continuously. If you have read the current affairs, it has said that after the Nepal earthquake, there has been shift in the position of the Mount Everest. Then the shifting or change in the position of the Ganga Brahmaputra delta more towards the Bangladesh region, shifting in the delta of Indus River. So these are some of the natural phenomena which are occurring, that is the changes in these geographical features. Recently, in the recent years back, when there was a tsunami in India, we know that the southernmost point of India, that is the Indira Point, was destroyed. So the changes due to the natural regions and some of the changes due to the human or anthropogenic regions. Too much pollution, too much use of greenhouse gases, too much automobile exhaust is causing change or heating up of the climate, what we commonly call as a climate change. And this climate change is having an effect on the entire globe. Glaciers are melting, rivers are shrinking. There is a submergence of low-lying areas such as smaller islands due to rise in the level of an ocean. So the changes in this geographical features, changes due to natural regions, changes due to the anthropogenic reasons, and lastly the changes in the plants, that is flora, changes in the human being, that is fauna. Give an example, changes in the human beings or the changes in the animal life. If an low-lying area is submerged due to increase in the sea level, then it will result into that area which was a part of a urban city. For example, if this part of India gets submerged underwater because it is a low-lying area, it will result into people migrating into the interiors, increase in the resources in the interiors of India, increase in the population pressure, and thence more and more pressure on the resources. So changes due to the natural reasons, changes due to the anthropogenic reasons. These are the changes. This is the entire feature of an entire syllabus. But if you look at the syllabus, you will see that most of the syllabus in this first part or in the paper, this paper focuses on the physical geography and on the economic geography, but it does not focus on the human geography, and there is some aspect which is missing, that is the agriculture. One of the most important aspect of geography when we study in India is the agriculture geography, because India chiefly is an agricultural country, so that aspect is missing. If you try to define a syllabus, if you try to understand the syllabus, you see that once you know the physical features, you know that the geography is a study of physical features, their relationship with the human beings and the interrelationship of human beings with a particular area. So when we study the geography as a flow chart, once it is given like it can be studied in the terms of a flow chart, that first study the physical features of the geography of the area. For example, again, that first study why there is a particular kind of a soil in an area, why there is a particular kind of a landscape in that area, why there is a particular kind of a water availability in the terms of river or maybe oceans in that particular area. Now, the study of a physical geography will give us a basic understanding of how the important resources in the world are distributed. For example, coal will be always available only in the land of Gondwana lands or only in the lands which have undergone submergence during a period known as Carboniferous period. Otherwise, the coal won't be available in the other kind of a landscape. You won't find coal in some particular other soil other than in a particular form of a soil. Coal generally is associated with the Gondwana landforms or the Carboniferous period. Iron ore is associated with the rocks which are known as metamorphic rocks. Black soil is associated with a basaltic rock, which is an example of which is a rock which comes out during an volcanic eruption. So black soil which is famous for cotton, which is famous for sugarcane cultivation, cotton cultivation, which is very fertile soil associated with volcanoes. So study of volcanoes, distribution of key natural resources. Iron ore, coal, other metallic minerals, non-metallic minerals associated with some kinds of soil, some kind of features. So distribution of key natural resources in the world. And wherever the area is rich in natural resources, obviously it will affect the location of industries. So one, this topic, then second, distribution of key natural resources after understanding this topic, and third, after understanding the distribution of natural resources, what are the features responsible for industrial location of any kind of an industry, but most important here will be primary and secondary industries, because sometimes it is seen that the tertiary industries are not that much raw material dependent, they are more often market dependent. So location of industries, some industries are dependent on the raw materials, some industries are dependent on the market. So when we know the key natural resources, we will understand the features which are responsible for the location of industries. If we take an example of a world, why Pittsburgh in the New England region of USA is known as iron and steel capital of the world. Some of the reasons may be there. When we'll study the syllabus of geography in detail, we will understand the major reason first was the easy availability of energy in the form of an coal, in the form of hydroelectricity. Second, rich in iron ore, resulting into Pittsburgh being iron and steel capital. Surrounding regions developed into automobile industry, rubber industry, ancillary industries, resulting into that area being an industrial capital of the world itself, which was once an industrial capital of the world, or that area was very rich in industries. India, if we take an example of India, major distribution of iron and coal resources here. So most of the iron and steel industries in this part of the world. For example, Kudremukh iron and steel plant of Karnataka. Central India, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand region, Orissa region, we have lot of coal fields, we have location of lot of iron and steel industries on those regions. On the other hand, some of the industries are not located on the basis of raw materials, they are located on the basis of market. Example, cotton industry. It is located, which is the center for cotton industry? Ahmedabad, Mumbai are the major centers for cotton industry because of the market which is available over here, because of the market which is available from the easy exports in the surrounding region. So, factors features which are responsible for the location of those industries. Again, look at it in the flowchart point. The fourth point, which will already be studied in the first part, is the important geophysical phenomena. Lastly, some geographical features, some of the issues we'll study separately, some of the part of this we'll study along with the physical geography, that is along with the climate. For example, climatology, we'll study the impact of a climate change. In the climatology, we'll be studying melting up of the glaciers. In the climatology, we'll be studying pollution of rivers. So, and how it is affecting. What are the government responses to this features. So these are the facts. This is the entire syllabus of the geography in the GS paper 2. But some of the applied feature, applied part of geography syllabus is given in the General Studies paper 4. That is which is generally known as paper of economics. See, the study of geography is incomplete, especially Indian geography is incomplete till the time we do not study the agriculture. Till the time we do not study the economy of India. And when I say economy of India, we generally mean that India is majorly dependent on agriculture. So I am saying that we do not study the agriculture. And what do you mean by agriculture? Agriculture means what are the crops which are taken in India, in which season are they taken, in which area are they taken, what are the features influencing those crops. One of the most basic feature is soil. The second basic feature is moisture availability. So what kind of a moisture is available? If the moisture is not available, what is the important steps taken by the farmers in the terms of irrigation? What are the different types of irrigation to give it to the plant crops? So here this is the applied part of a geography in which we will cover the core geography areas, while some of the current features will have to be integrated with the economics part. What are the core features of geography here? The core features of the geography are related to agriculture. The focus here only being in India, that is the cropping pattern of India. Then one of the types of irrigations. And irrigation systems, that is what are the different types of irrigation and irrigation systems. Then related to cropping, which is the industry? Industry is food processing industry in India. What is the scope of food processing industry and what is the significance of or importance of this food processing industry? And lastly, the infrastructure which is related to in India in the terms of what is the term of an infrastructure related to in India? What is given in the syllabus is infrastructure in the terms of energy, in the terms of transportation. What are the various features of transportation? In the terms of roads, in the terms of airports, in the terms of rails, and in the term of seaports, or we can say ports. So this is the other part of a geography which is given indirectly in the paper 3. Now why I am taking it as a part of geography? Because the climate and the soil determines the cropping pattern or what crops can be taken. You won't see unless science and technological development or some kind of a scientific development, we will see that the rice is taken in the areas of very high rainfall. Exception is there, yes, Punjab, Haryana, because of lot of water availability through irrigation. We will see the geographical feature, why there is a dominance of canal irrigation in the part of, that is the plains of India. Why the canal irrigation is absent in the plateau region or in the lower part or in the southern peninsula of India. Why the tank irrigation is an important in some parts of India, a geographical feature, again related to the physical geography, related to the climate. Third, food processing industry, because obviously food processing industry is a new terms for the value addition of the farmers. It is being encouraged. There are some of the technological missions on some of the crops. There are some of the missions, for example, National Horticulture Mission, National Food Security Mission, etc. And also there is one more, that is the food processing industries, sometimes in the terms of contract farming, sometimes in the terms of value addition. So the food processing industry obviously is related to the cropping pattern, is related to the crops. Both influence each other. Lastly, infrastructure. Why again a part of geography? The basic part of geography I am saying, because energy. What is the main source of energy in India? It is the thermal energy. In that thermal energy, coal is the most important raw material. Related to geography, distribution of coal in India. Roadways. Why there is a dense network of roadways in the Indo-Gangetic plains or in the plains of India? Why? Because of the flat land. Is the dense network of roadways present in the Himalayas or the northeast India? No, because of the physical geography, that is the mountainous region, the network of roadways, the network of railways, the network of connectivity in the terms is always highly dispersed. It is not as dense as in the plains region. How again related to geography? Because it is not easy to construct roads in this region. Second, related to human geography, the human settlement is less in this region. So this is how the applied part of geography, then in the terms of infrastructure, that is energy, roads, rails, airports, and lastly, the ports. That is why the western part of India has a better ports than the eastern part of India, because the difference between natural ports and the artificial ports, with difference between the natural harbors, which are the important natural harbors of India, what are not. So this is how the entire syllabus of geography looks like. Salient features of world geography, distribution of natural resources dependent on the salient features, distribution of industries located on the natural resources, and some of the changes which are occurring in the recent times. Application of this part, that is the economic geography part, is the cropping pattern of India, irrigation system of India, and the food processing industry in India. Focus on both India and world geography. Here the focus is only on the Indian geography. So the interrelated. Now the question can be asked, for example, distribution of tea plantations, why they are located in some specific regions of India. It can be asked in any of the paper. So because it has been mentioned in the syllabus, you can implied part of this explicitly mentioned in this region. So with this we will study how with this in mind we'll try to integrate, we'll try to simplify the syllabus of a geography. Geography is studied in the terms of physical geography and human geography. As I told you, geography is the relation of or the study of different patterns across the world in both physical as well as human patterns. So how is the distribution of the geography? Geography is studied in two parts: physical geography. We will be studying geography first as a physical geography. What comes in the physical geography? In the physical geography, study of the landscapes, that is geomorphology. Study of climate, that is climatology. Study of water bodies, that is oceanography. Biogeography or soil geography. This four features forms the physical geography. That is, if we look at the world, that is, this will be geomorphology. Why mountain system? Why different? What are different kind of a mountain system? Why plateau? That is a flat table land having slopes from both the sides. Why the plain region? That is the geomorphology. The envelope which covers our earth so that we can survive in this kind of an landscape, we can survive in some specific, life is possible only at certain level. So why the life is possible only at the certain level? Because we have conditions which are supported. What are the conditions? There are some important gases, there are some important features, there are some important phenomena. So that is the study of a climatology or climate of an area, which will cover rainfall, which will cover precipitation, which will cover different kind of climates. Study of major oceans, that is the oceanography. And lastly, the study of soils and the relation of the soil and climate resulting into different kinds. For example, there may be a desert region somewhere, there may be a very dense forest in some regions. So resulting into different kind of biomes in the world, different climatic regions in the world, that is integrated with the biogeography or soil geography. So we'll start our journey with first geomorphology, why the particular landscape is there. Then second will be climatology. Then third oceanography, and the last is the study or distribution of soils and the other features such as biomes. So this part is the physical geography, mostly conceptual part. The second aspect of our study of geography will be study of human geography. The human geography is further divided into population or settlement geography, and second it is divided into economic geography. These are the two aspects of human geography, that is the population geography or the settlement geography and the economic geography. Now, the population or settlement geography can further be divided into study of urban geography and study of rural geography. That is, we will be studying the rural settlements and the urban settlements in detail. This is one aspect. The second aspect, more and more into detail, if we study that what is the birth rate of a certain, what are the other areas. So that is, in this we can study what is the birth rate. That is, how many people are born, how many people die, what is the literacy rate, why, what influences the literacy rate, what is the gender sex ratio, that is male female population, what is the ratio of male and female population. So here what are the important aspects of this birth rate, death rate, sex ratio, literacy, density of population. What affects the density of a population? If the area is productive in the terms of agriculture, more people will love to settle there. If the area is productive in the terms, or if the area is complementary to human life in the terms of climate, more people will like to settle there. So we won't see the density of a population being very high in the desert regions. Neither the population density is high in the glaciated regions or in the mountainous region. Where is the population density high? The land where there can be proper agriculture development. So the central part or the part of India that is known as plains of India. So very high population density. Medium population density, stone region, that is the plateau region of India, because it is made up of hard rock. The soil is not as soft as to provide it a very good agricultural land. Least population density, desert region of India. The mountainous regions of India. What are the other factors which affect the population density? Delhi, Mumbai, Daman, Diu. These are all industrial towns, or these are all major metros. Chennai, for example. Why the population density is there? Because there people have source of livelihood. There is an economic development. People have employment here. So the density of the population affected by due to employment ratio or unemployment ratio. From where the people come for employment? They come from the different regions of India. They will come from the employment and they will go to the different regions. That is what will migration. Etc. And due to the migration, the age structure of a population, different population aspects will change. So these are the aspects of the population geography in both rural areas, in the urban areas. One of the aspects which is very crucial for India is the problem of urban slums. Why slums? What are the problems? What are the sociological problems? What are the psychological problems? What are the geographical problems of the slums in India? So this study of these different problems is the population, or different aspects is the population geography. The economic geography here has three subheadings. There is study of agricultural geography, study of industries, and third part of an economy is transport and trade. So these are the three parts of, again, human economic geography. So our study of geography will start first from the physical geography, that is geomorphology, then climatology, oceanography, then biogeography. Then we'll come to the study of human geography of the world, in which we will study the major population or settlement geography and the major economic geography. But if we look at the previous history of UPSC, if we analyze the paper of UPSC, or if we look at the examination patterns, and if we look at the demand of the examination, we have to focus, we can conclude that this area, the major importance of this area lies from the aspect of Indian geography, while because this is a conceptual area, we can study the world's physical geography. So again, for UPSC, for the study of UPSC examination, we will further do a certain topic, subtopic, that is the Indian geography. Here again the Indian geography will be studied on the basis of physical geography, what are the different aspects of physical geography of India? We have Himalayas, that is the mountain system of India, the rivers of India, the climate of India. What is the climate of India? Why again that monsoon type of a climate of India, or the soils of India, the natural vegetation of India, and some disasters in India. So the physical geography will cover The study of Indian physical geography will cover mountains, that is the landscape or physiography of India. The climate of India. Natural vegetation. Soils. And some phenomena such as cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis, etc. So, the study of Himalayan system, the study of central part of India, that is the plateau of India, study of Aravalli mountains, study of Vindhyas, Satpuras, Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, how they are different. Then Indo-Gangetic plain, northeastern part of India, that comes under the physiography of India, the islands of India. Some questions are conceptual, some questions are factual. Example, where is the 9-degree channel located? Where is the 10-degree channel located? Or which is the Tarai belt of India, which is the Bhabar region of India, which is the Bangar region of India? Which national park is there in the Tarai belt? What is the animal in that particular national park? What kind of then the study of climate in India, that is why the Indian climate is known as a monsoon type of a climate. Are there any features which affect the monsoon type of a climate such as El Nino, La Nina? What are the effects of monsoon type of a climate and why the different regions of India get different type of rainfall? That is why there is very heavy rainfall along the Western Ghat, northeast of India. Then what effect the rainfall has on the soils, on the natural vegetation. That is why there is evergreen forest, semi-evergreen forest, deciduous forest, even in that deciduous, moist deciduous, dry deciduous. Why there is a thorn or desert forest on the northwestern part of India. Why there is a mountain forest in the Himalayas region. What is the difference in the mountain forest of the Himalayas? That is, as the height of the Himalayas increase, the kind of an forest keeps on changing. So here, this conceptual part, factual part will be where is the sandalwood tree, for example, found, or where a particular kind of a tree, where a particular kind of an animal is found in this, which region, why there is a red soil along the Konkan coast of India or along the Western Ghats and in northeast India. So these are the factual parts. And lastly, some of the which will be the part of physiography itself, that is why the cyclones in India, what kind of cyclones, which area of India, which coast of India is vulnerable to cyclones, eastern coast or western coast. If eastern coast, then why eastern coast? So the study of this, again conceptual part. But the other important aspect in the study of Indian geography is the human geography of India, that is the study of population geography of India, that is what kind of a rural population we have, what is the urban population, what is the birth rate of India, what do you mean by demographic dividend when we keep on saying that India has a high demographic dividend, what do you mean by demographic dividend, how are we getting this demographic dividend? What do you mean by brain drain? Is it related to migration, international migration, internal migration? Why there is a migration? Sex ratio of India. Why do we require schemes such as Beti Bachao Andolan, Beti Padhao Andolan? Why the sex ratio of India is declining? So part of both sociological part as well as geographical part. And the density, how the density is, geography determines density, and lastly the problem of urban slums in India. Other important part, especially in Indian geography, is the agriculture geography of India, which we have already focused initially. Industrial geography of India, that is the location of industries in India, location of agriculture in India, distribution of crops in India, distribution of natural resources of India. So this is how the entire syllabus of geography is to be covered in this class. So in this class we will first start with the physical geography. In the physical geography we will first start with geomorphology, then climatology, oceanography. Biogeography will come to world human geography, will be studying the distribution of key industries, distribution of key natural resources from the main examination point of view. Then Indian geography, where the focus on the human geography part will be more in detail for both main examination and the preliminary examination point of view. And obviously the Indian physical geography, which is a bigger part in itself, that is study of physiography of India, etc. And lastly, only for the preliminary examination, we will be studying the world's regional geography. Continent wise, that is for the preliminary examination, that is which will cover both the physical geography and the human geography of a continents. But the focus area here will be for the preliminary examination, that is knowing the different features of geography. Before we start with the geomorphology, the basic requirement for geography is a good atlas and the basic NCERTs. So buy yourself a good atlas, any of the good atlas, and obviously you should keep on referring to the basic NCERTs. So with this clarity of syllabus, we will start our first part, that is the geomorphology part. Now, when we study geomorphology, so geomorphology is somewhat technical in aspect, somewhat conceptual in aspect. It is one of the largest portion of geography. So, the geomorphology, the study of a geomorphology or the landscape on the earth. The basic idea is to study the geomorphology in three parts. That is, first, the interior of the earth. The second is theories in the geomorphology, some of the important theories in the geomorphology. These theories are continental drift theory, sea floor spreading, and lastly, plate tectonic theory. These three theories will give us an idea why there is a particular location of a mountain at the particular place, why volcano is at a particular place, why the earthquake keeps on happening, why there are different kinds of landscapes. So it is an evolutionary part which started first from the idea of a drift and ended when we got the answers in the plate tectonic theory. So the remaining theories, and lastly the important features or the movements of the earth. And the features they produce, or we can say landscapes they produce. And modify. And lastly is the agents of erosion, denudation, and the landscapes they form. So starting first from the interior of the earth, the important theories, that is the continental drift theory, seafloor spreading, plate tectonic theory. Then third, the bigger part, movements of the earth on the earth. That is what are the kind of movements. Some movements are inside the earth, some movements are on outside of the earth, that is endogenetic movements, exogenetic movements. And what are the different kinds of movements? Some where the earth is folded to form a mountain, some where earth is faulted or fractured to form a rift valley or the block mountain. Somewhere the earth, somewhere there is what different kind of the mountains can be there. Somewhere there are very high mountains, somewhere there are volcanic mountains. So different kind of movements. Once a mountain is built, once a landscape is built, the agents of the erosion or the denudation or weathering will try to break down this landscape. It will result into the formation of different kinds of soils. It will result into different kinds of rocks and the rock structures. Because the breaking down by the agents of erosion. What do you mean by agent of erosion? On the outside part of the earth, we see that there is a river, there is a glacier, there is a wind. These are the agents of an erosion. Now in the area where the river is active, the landscape will be different. In the area where the glacier is active, the landscape will be little bit different. In the area where there is wind active, that is in the desert region, you will find the landscape being different. For example, sand dunes will be located in the desert regions. U-shaped valleys, hanging valleys will be located in the glaciated regions. Meandering rivers or the meanders will be located in the riverine region. So these are the agents of erosion and how they modify the landscape. That is if you remember the last point of your mains syllabus in the paper 2, that is history and geography paper, the last point, that is the changes in the landscape. How are the changes in the landscape happening and how do they modify the flora, fauna and the geology of that area? That is how the agents of erosion. So we'll be studying here landforms made by rivers, landforms made by glaciers, landforms made by wind, landforms made by the different kind of a rock region. For example, black soil in the volcanic rocks, karst topography in the limestone rocks. So different kinds of topography from the both preliminary and the mains point of view. So this is the entire feature of the geomorphology. The first part of before we start, to just give you an idea of the overall distribution of the geography of the world. If we look at the entire map of the world, how is the map of the world, and that this knowledge will be required for the study of geography will be, if we try to draw the map of the world, so if we try to look at the map of the world, we have to, before we start the geographical lecture of geography, we have to know some of the important features. Now the first thing, some of the important first feature is the major mountains of the world. What are the major mountains of the world? The first major mountain is the Rockies Mountain of North America. The Andes mountain system of South America. The Atlas mountains of Africa. Alps of Europe. Scandinavian mountains of Scandinavia, again a part of Europe. Himalayan mountain systems, Hindu Kush mountain systems of South Asia, or we can say the Himalayan mountains of India and the surrounding Indian subcontinent, the Hindu Kush mountain systems. Then Tian Shan mountains, Altai Shan mountains, the Ural mountains, and the mountains of Russia, the mountains of Australia, that is the Great Dividing Range of Australia. So these are the important mountains. North America, South America, Africa, Europe, similar boundary, not a different continent, but you see that the mountain of Urals, that is the Ural mountains, is taken as a dividing line between the Europe and the Asia. This part is Europe, while this part is Asia. This part is Australia, Africa, South America, North America, in Asia, West Asia, South Asia, East Asia, central part of Asia, and the Australia covers Australia as well as the New Zealand. So what are the major? The Rockies mountain system of North America, Andes of South America, Alps of Europe, Atlas mountains of Africa, Himalayan mountain system, Tian Shan mountain system, Altai Shan mountain systems of Asia. See, these all mountains originate from a single area or plateau which is known as Pamir region or the Pamir Plateau. They look as if they originate from a single knot, so the Pamir Plateau or the Pamir knot, this is known as roof of the world. In between there are some of the important plateaus. For example, here there is a Tibetan Plateau region. Here there is a Gobi Desert region. This is a Siberian Plateau region in Russia. This part is Greenland, which is a part of Denmark. This country is known as Iceland. European part, in between Europe and America, in between Europe and Africa, there is a sea which is known as Mediterranean Sea. Then there is a Black Sea. Then there is a Caspian Sea in this region. This ocean is known as Atlantic Ocean. This ocean is known as Pacific Ocean. Earth is round, so obviously these two parts of the earth are very near by each other. If we look at the globe, it will look as if this is a part of Asia and this is the part of North America. This is the, on the globe it looks like this. So we have Pacific Ocean. Other ocean, Indian Ocean. Then we have Southern Ocean in this region. We have the land of Antarctica in this region, or the continent of Antarctica in this region. While at the top we have Arctic Ocean. So the world is divided into, or we can say the surface of the earth is divided into two parts. Some are the land part, what we call as a continents. Some are the water bodies, which are called as oceans. These water bodies are then further divided into numerous seas, such as, that is the smaller part of the oceans, such as Arabian Sea on the western part of India, Bay of Bengal on the eastern part of India. Now, if we look at the overall distribution, the major continents are the North America, South America, Europe, Asia, which are divided, which are separated by the Ural mountain ranges. Then we have Africa and we have Oceania, which forms Australia, New Zealand and the remaining part. And lastly, we have Antarctica in the southern poles. If the major oceans of the world are Pacific, the largest ocean, then Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. See the location of Arctic Ocean, see the location of an Southern Ocean. Now, you determine, look into the atlas and determine what are the countries which are located near the Arctic Ocean. Then lastly, we have, when we take this, so we have the world which is divided into land areas known as continents and the water bodies known as oceans. Now, if we take this world and the earth is a globe, it is in the shape of a globe. So when we, obviously it has a center part, and if we divide the earth into two parts, this is where the center of the earth roughly comes to. This line which divides the earth into two parts is known as equator or 0 degrees. So the equator divides the earth, the globe, into two parts, that is the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So we have the earth which is divided into the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Now, if you look at the atlas here, or if you look at the map here, what is the significance or what is the feature of a northern hemisphere and what is this feature of a southern hemisphere? Look at the map. See, the northern hemisphere is dominated by the land. We see this land, we see the entire land over here, while the southern hemisphere is dominated by the oceans or water bodies. So the earth in the northern hemisphere is dominated by the land, while in the southern hemisphere is dominated by the oceans. Similarly, as the center of the earth, there are two regions which are known as the poles, pole region of the earth. So there are northern pole and the southern pole region. Now you see one irony here, that though the northern hemisphere is dominated by the oceans, at the north pole, there is lack of a land, but there is a presence of an ocean in the form of an Arctic Ocean. So the northern hemisphere dominated by land, but at the poles there is an ocean in the form of an Arctic Ocean, while that is here there is a presence of an ocean in the form of Arctic Ocean, while on other hand the southern hemisphere is dominated by the water, dominated by the ocean, but at the south pole there is a presence of land in the terms of Antarctica. So this is the feature of the world distribution of land and water. There is a dominance of land in the northern hemisphere, but presence of oceans in the north pole. There is a dominance of water in the southern hemisphere, but the presence of a land in the terms of Antarctica at the southern pole. The second feature, if you look at the map properly, you will see that Pacific Ocean open from both the sides, Atlantic Ocean open from both the sides, Southern Ocean also part of ocean, except that there is only one kind of an ocean which is half enclosed by the land from all the sides. It is an example, the only ocean in the world which is named after a country, that is the Indian Ocean. Indian Ocean is a peculiar ocean in the terms that it is not open on the northern side, it is enclosed on the northern part, it is only half a ocean in the northern hemisphere, that is, it is enclosed from the northern hemisphere. What is the geographical significance? We have, because of this nature, we have some important features such as, due to the presence of Himalayas and enclosed nature, we have monsoon kind of a climate. So, before we start with the geomorphology, some of the basic features, some of the basic parts, that is location of the major mountain ranges as per the continents. On the western part of North America, we have the Rockies mountain system. On the western part of South America, we have the Andes mountain system. On the northwestern part of Africa, we have the Atlas mountains. We have the Alps, which are the major mountains of Europe, southern part of Europe. These mountains which are present which divide the land, and it is divided into Europe and Asia, is the Ural mountain system. Then we have the Himalayan mountains, we have Trans-Himalayas, then we have Altai-Shan mountain system. The land between Altai-Shan and the Himalayan mountain system is known as Tibetan Plateau region. Then we have Tian-Shan and the Altai-Shan mountain systems. The land between Tian-Shan and the Altai-Shan mountain system is known as the Gobi Desert region. So we have different location, different countries here. Then we have the Great Dividing Range, that is the name of a mountain in the Australia, is known as the Great Dividing Range. Then we have the Southern Alps of Australia. Then there are some of the islands, some of the countries which are located as an islands. That is, one is Japan, Philippines, entire Southeast Asia, that is Indonesia, Malaysia, their location here, Southeast Asia, East Asia consisting of China, Japan, Southeast Asia consisting of Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines region. Then West Asia consisting of the Gulf countries, Mediterranean Sea. How is the Mediterranean Sea? See, again a different kind of sea. Each and every point will be required while studying the geomorphological theories. See the location of the Mediterranean Sea, see the location of the Caspian Sea, see the location of a Black Sea region. You do look into the atlas, what is a mountain which connects this, what are the different kind of straits which connect this. Will be coming to it while studying oceanography in detail, but still have a look at the atlas and try to find out that where is the Ural mountain situated, where is that is Ural mountain, though yes, it separates Asia and Europe, but look in the atlas, see which country is it situated in. Then this is the general. Then this central part, that is consisting of Cuba and the islands, what we call as Caribbean islands, or the central part of the America, that is the Central America, that is the Mexico region, and these islands here, which commonly, most famously is known by their cricket team as West Indies. So these islands are known as the Caribbean islands, or the central part, or the central islands, Caribbean islands. Then, so this is the overall picture of the world. Repeating it again, divided into continents, divided into oceans. Continents have been given different names such as North America, South America, Central America. There are also some numerous islands. Some of the major countries which are islands are Cuba, the Caribbean region in the Atlantic Ocean, that is the West Indies in the Atlantic Ocean, East Asian islands, the Philippines, Japan, then Indonesia, Malaysia, these countries here of the Southeast Asia. While there are numerous islands which are known as Polynesia, Micronesia in the Pacific Ocean. So the Caribbean islands of the Atlantic Ocean, Polynesia, Micronesia region of the Indo-Pacific Ocean. So these are the different kind of islands, and this is the distribution of the mountains, major features of the world. Now there are obviously some deserts are located in the world, which will be studying in climatology. Some rivers are located, which will be studying as per the syllabus goes. So with this, we will start with the first feature, that is the interior of the earth, or the interior part of the earth.